Hi, and welcome back to the WHVP podcast. In this episode of the podcast, the WHVP team sits down and discusses the 30-year anniversary of WHVP. We will talk about the history of WHVP, the transition from the founders of WHVP to the new generation, and we will discuss a bit of the company's culture. Before we jump into this discussion, we're going to start by announcing 2 awards that WHVP won in 2021. Let's get into it. We have a very special episode today, and we're going to be talking about the 30-year jubileum of WHVP and kind of the history behind it, the transition from the previous owner to our new owners in the company, and and then a little bit about where we are at present, where we want to be in the future, and then discuss WHVP as a team. However, to start the episode off today, we're going to highlight an award that we won last year in 2020 of March.
No, we won it this year.
This year?
Yes.
But the award was for last year.
No.
It was just the announcement was supposed to be in March.
Yes. So we won the awards in March, but we couldn't celebrate back then because of COVID. So we got our celebration last week.
Yeah, that's so cool. So the award, we actually won 2 awards, not just one. The first was for servicing American clients, and the second one was for digital online engagement, which is pretty cool. Trying to be ahead of the curve as a company in dealing with social media as the world goes more and more digital. That was definitely, for me, an award that I thought was a testament to the company of how we've been really trying to be active with our clients in staying connected and just the broader finance world. That's really cool. And then obviously servicing American clients, that's our heartbeat, that's what we love to do. So that's, it's very big for the company to get that award. And so, yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited to see what the future holds, and it's definitely a good start to the company.
Yes,
and where we're at.
Absolutely. No, we're very happy that we won the awards, especially the one for servicing North American clients, because when the jury explained why we won, we had quite a few competitors compete for this award, and when they explained why we won, it is really because of the track record that we have, because it's so unique in Switzerland to have a company that has been focusing on Americans continuously for 30 years. So I think it's very fitting that we announce those awards today when we're also talking about the history of the company and where we're coming from. And I think most or all of our clients certainly know that the company was founded by my father. I'm not sure if all of our listeners know that, but he started the company in the fall of 1991. Even my mother worked in the company as well back then. And yeah, I think it's really a testament to what he has done that we are now able to take over as the new team, as the new generation. And it's really an honor. We also celebrated that also, I think, 2 weeks ago with our business partners. Unfortunately, we weren't able to celebrate it with our international friends and clients, but we were able to celebrate it with the people here in Zurich and also just say goodbye to my father in terms of his career and his work. And I think it was really nice that we were able to look back at everything that has happened and everything that the company and he specifically and his partners and colleagues have achieved over the past 30 years. And we're very excited to see where the journey takes us. I think Julia has a lot to share about the history of the company because you have been the longest running teammate basically with almost 20 years next year. So maybe you can share a little bit more about the beginnings of the company.
Yeah, well, first to the celebration we had 2 weeks ago, that was really nice to see people I knew since 20 years, because it's almost 20 years I worked with WHVP. However, I already met Rob and Renee when I was working at one of our custodians. And so when they asked me whether I wanted to start working with them, I just jumped in because I thought they are really nice people, honest people. And so I started working with them. It was quite a challenge for me because starting to work with US clients was quite special for me. But I think they helped me. It was easy to work then because the paperwork was easier to open an account. Nowadays, with all these compliance things, to open an account is quite a tricky thing. But American people are open, are very nice to work with. And then one of the really biggest milestones we had in all these years was 10 years ago when we registered with the SEC. We started, I think, more than 1 year earlier, talking with a lawyer here in Switzerland, looking at what we have to do to prepare in order to get registered. And then I think we were quite well organized, so it worked good. We registered, and that made things easier. It enabled us to go out to the US to talk to the clients, to go on seminars. And the thing that I saw is that after registration, clients didn't come very regular to Switzerland. We used then to go there to visit them. So before our registration, they preferred to come to Switzerland to visit with us, which was really nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the history behind, I guess, how the SEC and Swiss asset managers, worked with U.S. clients. As you mentioned, they would come over here. The process might have been more interactive for the American client of obviously getting on a plane, coming over to Europe. And now it's just more paperwork, but there's that ease of you can do it from home because we as the asset managers are, going to those clients in the States, which is definitely a big piece of the company.
I think that's a good point, and we just heard yesterday, I think, that the borders are apparently opening again.
Mm-hmm.
So we have big plans for next year. We hope to be able to really visit a lot of different cities, visit a lot of people, and just make it more interactive from our side, because the client contact is the most important thing. That was also one of the main reasons why my father went out on his own, because he felt that he could better serve people if he does it from an independent base and he's not forced to sell in-house bank products and be like jewed up in the whole administrative paperwork of the bank. So I think that's really cool that we're able to go back to the roots and really continue to focus on this client centricity and the client's needs and do that also by traveling to the US.
Yes, and this has always been a big part for WHVP. So even today we have clients with us. Robert managed had a relationship with back when he worked with the bank. So we have very long-standing relationships with our clients, and that's a very beautiful thing to see, because it is very difficult, especially when there is a shift in the generation. So if children take over or inherit some money or funds, so that they might take it back. But if you have a relationship where you discuss and are really interested in the person itself, it makes the service just different.
Yeah, and I think that's a big point that, again, as WHVP, we're looking for building that generational wealth. How can we protect assets? How can we build assets so that then you can pass it on to your kids? And in that tradition, we had the transition of WHVP leading up to our 30-year anniversary. And maybe, Urs, you'd like to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So I think going through this process enabled us to understand our clients better when it comes to the generational shift. And it was a very exciting time for us to take over more and more responsibilities within the last couple of years, and to see, okay, what does it take to run this kind of business? What does it take to build up a sustainable relationship with our clients? What are our clients looking for? So what I have seen in the last couple of years is that sometimes what you think is a good service to the client must not necessarily be what the clients want. So it is very important to have this regular conversations to line up with the clients and see where does the client want to go with the portfolio, with the relationship with WHVP, what are his or her goals for his wealth. And I think a very positive thing was that originally we planned to do the takeover of the firm or the handover of the firm to the next generation at the end of this year, but because everything went that well, we were able to do it already at the end of last year. And so we had now the opportunity to celebrate that, as we mentioned before, with all our partners. And hopefully in the future we can meet with clients and meet with them face to face, and to have the ability or the opportunity to build up this relation, or to go on within this relationship.
Yeah, and I think that's also a testament to how Rob and Renee, the senior partners, how they handled their careers and the company, because they both were able to let go so easily. And that's something that I really that is important to me to highlight again and again, because people, I'm not sure if they're aware or if they can put themselves in a situation of building up a company for 30 years, and that's a huge part of your life and partially also of your identity. And then really just to say within a few years, hey, I trust the next generation enough to hand that over, to just completely take myself out of the operative business. I think that's really something that is incredibly impressive and also quite rare. I mean, we have a lot of contacts here to other asset managers, and sometimes we see the children of the asset managers being in their 50s and 60s even, and their fathers being 70, 80 and still active in the business. And I think that's really great, because we only have this opportunity to move the company forward because the older generation was okay with making space for us, and that's something that I think the whole team is extremely grateful for. But it's not just that they were okay with letting go, they were also very helpful in guiding us through the process. So they have been very active in talking to the clients about us, introducing us to the clients, introducing us to the business partners, and really also talking us through all the values. Of course, for me, and also for Julia, it's a bit different because we have been like part of the DNA of the company for so long. I grew up with the company. I used to do my homework in the office that Julia is now working at. So I think we both are very aware of the values of the companies, but still for like Jess and Urs, who have joined more recently, I think it was really helpful that the older generation really took the time to explain to us what is important to them, what is important to the clients, how do we do business. And that's, in my opinion, the key to the successful succession, because we were able to continue, or we are now able to continue working with the clients in a way that they were used to. I think there's a couple of things that we could improve upon in the process and administrative side of things. One of the things is the Digital Engagement Award, but when it comes to the core business, we really emphasize, and also the older generation really emphasized on having continuity and keeping the values that have kept WHVP so strong for the past 30 years. And I think that's what enables us to plan for the next 30 years, what we have planned. And there's quite a few things that we have in mind. There's a lot of projects. Jess is now involved in a lot of things that we're planning moving forward to just continuously improve ourselves, improve our services. And that's also a call to action to all listeners, and especially clients. If you feel that there are things that we can do better, that we can improve, just please always let us know. The only way we can get better is if we get direct feedback on what you enjoy or what we should change. And we're just always, our doors are always very open for feedback. So please keep that in mind. If you have something that bothers you or that you think we could do better, just let us know, and we're happy to think about it and try to accommodate for it. But yeah, if we're looking down the road, I think we really will keep on doing what we're doing. We will keep having a strong focus on client centricity. We will, of course, build up our travel schedule again as soon as it is possible. We hope to be in the US next year, really 4 or 5 times at least, if it is possible then. And yeah, we will definitely build up and strengthen the community that we have. We will definitely work on shedding a light on cross-border wealth management, on offshore banking, because those are topics that we really understand, that we have passion for, and where we feel we can really build value for our audience and listeners and clients by just providing a platform where they can get information on the topic and learn more and get more comfortable with the whole setup.
Yeah, I think that's something, as you and Urs and Julia talked about, the foundations of WHVP being, client-centric, and that, as well as with the idea of really good succession. Something that when I had come into this company, I was amazed was the amazing ability to bring a new person in, train them up in what they had, spending the time with them to make sure that things functioned very smoothly. And I think that's something that, as the newest member of the team, I've seen in the foundations of WHVP that has really excited me is this idea of, hey, we're here for the clients, we're here for their benefits, our egos are out of it. We're here to, just provide a smooth, client-centric care for our clients and the people that we're in contact with. And that was something that, motivated me hugely. And that's, you see that red line, as they would say in German, through the story of WHVP is, hey, how do we best serve our clients? How do we find a way that's going to really take care of their needs by listening to them, by communicating with them, by building those relationships? And it's not only with our client relationship, but it's also really an in-house thing that I think is really wonderful to speak to the company culture of that we have inside the office as well. That's been really, really enjoyable being here. And so I think that's really cool. Yeah.
Thank you. That's really nice to say, and it's great to hear that you really can feel that when you come in, and it does also motivates us to keep on and doing things how we did in the past, and to stay the course in this regard.
For me, it was always like being in a family. Before with the 2 partners, Rob and Renee, now with the younger ones. And as, I don't know, one of you said, we have clients which I know since 20 years, and that's really good. And very impressive is that we didn't lose any clients during all this transition. And that shows that they have trust in what Rob and Renee did, and they believe that we can do it. And I really am sure that we can do that for the clients. When I see both of you, I'm really happy to be with you, to work with you, and to learn from you.
Yeah. So do we have any funny stories that happened throughout WHVP that we can share, or any interesting tidbits?
Well, the most recent story that happened that comes to my mind spontaneously is the shift for the senior partners to like the whole work from home Zoom situation, because we had an executive meeting at the beginning of the pandemic over Zoom. And then my father just showed up in a bathing robe because he didn't really understand the concept of video. So that was a funny thing. But yeah, I think, and I hope people can also feel that from our podcast and the videos that we do, that we have a lot of fun. Like, we take our job very seriously, and it is very important what we do for us and for our clients. But we still, I think we all enjoy being here together. We enjoy building up something together. We don't take ourselves too seriously. That's also something that I think we could learn from my father. So yeah, there's certainly funny things happening every now and then. But that the Zoom story of him showing up in the robe was the first that came to mind.
Yeah. Now I understand why our 30-year gift might have been a robe for your dad.
Yes, exactly.
The joke
exactly.
makes sense now. Yeah, cool. Hey guys, thanks so much for today. That was awesome. I thought the discussion was really, really helpful. And as the listeners and clients, we really hope that you've been able to see a little bit inside of our business and how we interact with clients and potential clients and listeners, and maybe see inside of our company culture. Thanks for joining us on this week's episode of the WHVP podcast. If you would like to learn more about WHVP, please check us out at any of our social media handles on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. If you'd like to listen to more podcasts by WHVP, check us out on YouTube or Anchor to find more episodes and interviews of the WHVP team. If you'd like to learn more about our company, please check us out at whvp.ch. Have a great rest of your week.